Hi students and friends, welcome to the channel Learn and Teach by AYAZ. So in this video, I'm going to solve 5070 past paper May-June 2021 and the variant is 11. Let's start the paper. I'm not going to discuss the instructions as you all are aware about the instructions. So here's question number 1. A student has to measure 28.2 centimeter cube of aqueous sodium bromide. Which piece of apparatus should the student select? If you look at the volume, it's mentioned of high accuracy, 28.2 centimeter cube. You can't take beaker. A is the beaker. You can't take beaker for this volume. Neither you can use measuring cylinder. This is measuring cylinder. So both choice A and D is incorrect. We are left with B and C. B must be the right answer. C is also incorrect because B has higher accuracy as compared to C. C is pipette and B is burette. So B must be the right answer for this question. Number 2. Which property of a liquid ester can be used to check its purity before use as food flavorings? So any substance we want to check, for any substance we want to check its purity, we'll go for the melting point or boiling point. Melting points for the solid, melting point for solid, and boiling point for liquid. And they have mentioned it's liquid ester, so it must be boiling point. So A must be the right answer in this case. Other choices are incorrect. Color, smell, and solubility in water. These can't confirm the purity of the given substance. Number 3. Which sequence of procedures is used to separate a pure dry sample of hydrated copper 2 sulfate CuSO4.5H2O from a mixture containing hydrated copper 2 sulfate and calcium carbonate CaCO3? First of all, you should know which of these is soluble and insoluble in water. Hydrated copper 2 sulfate, it is soluble in water because all sulfates are soluble in water except besan ke laddu. Besan ke laddu means Ba for barium, calcium, Ca, laddu, Pb, lead. These sulfate are insoluble. What about carbonate? Calcium carbonate. All carbonates are insoluble. All carbonates are insoluble except group 1 and ammonium. These are soluble. 1. So calcium carbonate is insoluble. So we must go for the process of dissolving in water. So either A is correct or B is correct. Both C and D is incorrect. So first of all, you need to dissolve in water. As calcium carbonate, CaCO3 is insoluble in water, it will remain as a residue. So we remove it through filtration. And in the end, we are going to crystallize the hydrated copper 2 sulfate. So B must be the right answer. for number 3. Moving to next question. J is an aqueous solution. On addition of aqueous sodium hydroxide to J, a green precipitate is formed. The resulting mixture is heated and no gas is formed. Aluminum foil is added to the warmed mixture. A gas is formed that turns damp red litmus paper blue. Which ions could be present in J? Now, J is an aqueous solution. What they have added? They have added sodium hydroxide and they have also added aluminum foil to the warm mixture, which means that they have warmed the mixture also. And it must have released ammonia gas, which is turning damp red litmus paper to blue. So nitrate ion must be there. So either B is correct or D is correct. They mentioned one more thing. They said that it's a green precipitate. Green precipitate means it must contain Fe2 plus ion. So D must be the right answer in this case. Number 5. Gas X has the following properties. Number 1, colorless. Number 2, no effect on either damp red or blue litmus papers. 3, no effect on lime water. 4, flammable. What is gas X? Now, it's a colorless gas, but it does not have any effect on damp red or blue litmus paper. So, we can straight away reject the choices A and B. So, both of these have effect on damp litmus papers. So, it can't be ammonia, neither ammonia nor chlorine gas. And they are saying the gas is flammable, which means it's catching fire. So it must be used as a fuel. So hydrogen must be the gas, must be that gas. Oxygen helps in burning. Oxygen is not used as fuel, but hydrogen is used as fuel. That's why it's flammable. Number 6, which particle contains most electrons? We have A, O3 minus, B, Ne, C, Na minus, D, Mg3 plus. Let's look at the number of electrons in O, Ne, Na, and Mg. Here we have O, number of electrons is 8. Ne, neon, number of electrons is 10. Na, here is Na, number of electrons is 11. Mg, the number of electrons is 12. Coming back to this slide. So in case of oxygen, it must be 8 plus 3 because the charge is minus 3, which means it has 3 extra electrons. The total electron is 11. What about neon? We have mentioned 10. Na minus. It's written Na minus, not plus. Na contains 11 electrons as its proton number is 11. So 11 plus 1, because carrying minus 1 charge, which means it has 1 extra electron. So the total electron must be 12. What about Mg? Mg 3 plus, which means it has lost electrons, and 3 plus means it has lost 3 electrons. So you write 12 minus 3, which becomes 9. So obviously choice C must be the right answer in this case. As you see, the maximum number of electrons or most electrons is present in Na minus. Moving to next question. Number 7. The diagrams show the structures of two solids P and Q. P must be diamond. The structure resembles diamond. But what Q? It must be graphite. So layered structure must be of graphite. Which row is correct? In A, B, we have A, B, C, D. We have one column for has covalent bonding. and the other column, they are saying conducts electricity. Both of these contains covalent bonding. So either C is correct or D is correct. Both A and B is incorrect. Both P and Q contains covalent bonding. Only Q conducts electricity, so D must be the right answer. Diamond does not conduct electricity, so D must be the right answer. As Q is graphite and it conducts electricity. Number 8. What is a covalent bond? A pair of electrons shared by two non-metallic atoms. This looks correct to me. The reason is that they are saying a pair of electrons share. Sharing will take place in covalent bond. And the other point is that non-metallic atoms. So this looks correct to me. For your convenience, I am reading the other statements also. B, electrons being shared by a lattice of positively charged ions. This is incorrect. Because electrons are definitely shared, but it's not by a lattice of positively charged ions. So this must be incorrect. C, elements losing electrons to achieve a noble gas structure. Now they are saying losing electrons, so this is also incorrect. Losing does not take place in covalent bonding. D, oppositely charged particles strongly attracting each other. This is also incorrect because there isn't any oppositely charged particles. There's only sharing of electrons and it's between two non-metallic atoms. So A must be the right answer for number 8. Number 9, the empirical formula of compound X is CH2 and the relative molecular mass Mr of X is 70. What is the molecular formula of X? You know, in order to find this, we have Mr given. So N is equal to Mr divided by empirical formula mass. So CH2, here is C. 12 is the AR of C. What about H? AR of H is 1. So for CH2 is equal to 12 plus 2, you get 14. So you'll divide 70 by 14. 5. So you'll multiply 5 by CH2. 5. Each of the atoms of carbon as well as hydrogen will be multiplied by 5. So we'll get C5H10. So C must be the right answer for number 9. Number 10. A chemist wants to make calcium nitrate. They start with 8 grams of pure calcium oxide and an excess of dilute nitric acid. They produce 12.65 grams of pure, dry, anhydrous calcium nitrate crystals. What is the percentage yield of calcium nitrate? No, percentage yield. What is the formula for percentage yield? Experimental value divided by theoretical value. So what is provided here? We are talking about calcium nitrate. We have the experimental value, which is 12.65. We don't have theoretical value. So what is the formula of calcium oxide? First of all, I will write the formula of calcium oxide. This is calcium oxide, CaO. What about calcium nitrate? Calcium nitrate, formula for calcium nitrate is CaNO3 whole twice. Now, first of all, I need to find the MR of these. This will be expressed as in grams. Here's calcium. Here's calcium. AR is 40. Oxygen. Here's oxygen. AR is 16. What about nitrogen? Here's nitrogen. AR is 14. So CaO will add 40 plus 16 for CaO. 40 plus 16. What about CaNO3 whole twice? Ca again 40 plus we have 2 atoms of nitrogen, 2 will be multiplied by 14 plus 2 multiplied by 3, 6, 6 will be multiplied by 16 for oxygen. What we will get? 40 plus 16, we must be getting 56. So I will write 56 grams. 56 grams producing 40 plus 2 multiplied by 14, 28. 6 multiplied by 16, 96. So adding up these, 40 plus 28, plus 96, 164. So I will write 164 here, 164 grams. So 56 gram produces 164 grams. Therefore, 8 gram produces X gram. Do the cross, what you'll get? You'll get X is equal to 164 multiplied by 8 divided by 56. So 164 multiplied by 8 divided by 56. So this is the theoretical value. It is 23.428. 23.428. And where is the experimental value? Here is the experimental value. 12.65. 12.65. So we will multiply 12.65 by 100 and divided by 23.428. We'll get 53.995. So A must be the right answer. It's 54. So if you'll round off this 53.995, you will get 54. Number 11. The relative formula masses of 4 compounds are given. A student has a 1 gram sample of each compound. Which sample contains the highest number of moles of oxygen atoms? Mass is provided, which is 1 gram. So what we need to do? We need to calculate the number of moles of oxygen atoms. What I will do? I will convert the 1 gram sample of each of these into moles. So for Al2O3, 1 will be divided by 102. 1 divided by 102. And we'll get 0.0098. 0.0098. Here I'm writing moles. What about CO? 1 divided by 80. 0.0125. What about H2SO4? 0.010. What about HNO3? 1 divided by 63. It is 0.015. So Al2O3, if you look at the formula, at 1 mole is producing 3 moles of oxygen. For Al2O3, Al2O3, 1 mole oxygen gives 3 moles. Therefore, 0.015 0.098 gives X moles. So 3 will be multiplied by 0.098. 0.294. 0.294 moles of oxygen. What about CuO? It's 1 mole. So 1 mole is producing 1 mole of O. So 0.0125 gives 0.0125. What about H2SO4? H2SO4. H2SO4 is giving 4 moles of oxygen. So 0.010 will be multiplied by 4. So you will get 0.04. What about HNO3? 1 mole gives 3 moles, so 0.015. 0.015 gives 0.045. 0.045. So D must be the right answer for number 11. Moving to next question. How many elements combine to form the compound ammonium sulfate? Now they are saying elements. If you will write the formula of ammonium sulfate, it will be NH4 4 twice SO4. They are saying how many elements. So they are not saying total number of elements. They are saying how many elements. You have different element here. You have nitrogen here, hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, which means there must be 4. So B must be the right answer for number 12. Number 13, an aqueous mixture of copper 2 nitrate and silver nitrate is electrolyzed with pure copper electrodes. Which half equation correctly describes the change occurring at the anode? We have mixture of copper 2 nitrate and silver nitrate. Silver is below copper in the reactivity series. So it will not lose electron. Instead, copper will lose electron. Copper will lose electron. You have a pure copper electrodes. So copper will lose electron at anode. You know that at anode there will be oxidation, which means loss of electron or loss of electrons taking place. So A must be the right answer for this question. Moving to next question, which is 14. The diagram shows the electrolysis of concentrated and dilute aqueous sodium chloride using inert electrodes. Gases are produced and collected in each of the test tubes W, X, Y, and Z. So WX, we don't know the electrodes, but if you look at the sign, so this must be negative and this must be positive. So in concentrated aqueous sodium chloride, what you will get? Concentrated aqueous sodium chloride, you must be getting hydrogen gas and chlorine gas, Cl2. And in case of dilute aqueous sodium chloride, here you will get hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Which statements are correct? 1. Approximately equal volumes of gas are produced and collected in test tubes W and X. They are saying equal volumes. So in W and X, what we are getting? In W and X, we are getting hydrogen and chlorine gas. So this statement must be correct. So both gases will be produced are of equal volumes. What about number 2? Approximately equal volumes of gas are produced and collected in test tubes Y and Z. In Y and Z, we are getting hydrogen and oxygen. We are not getting equal volumes of gas. The reason is that in case of dilute aqueous sodium chloride at cathode, you will be having 2 moles of H positive ion producing 1 mole of H2 gas plus 2 moles of electron. But about anode, there must be 4 moles of OH negative ion giving 1 mole of O2. There is loss of 4 moles of electron plus water. So this is incorrect. Statement is incorrect. So this is incorrect. What about number 3? 3 different gases are produced in the experiment. Let's count the gases. We have hydrogen gas, chlorine gas, and oxygen gas. Yes, this is also correct because we have 3 different gases produced in this experiment. So 1 and 3 is correct. So D must be the right answer for number 14. Number 15, which positive ions are present in aqueous copper 2 sulfate? Now they are saying positive ions in aqueous copper 2 sulfate. In aqueous copper 2 sulfate, we must be having Cu plus 2 and H positive. So copper 2 ions and hydrogen ions. B must be the right answer for number 15. Moving to next question. Number 16, these statements refer to hydrogen and its use as a fuel. 1, both water and hydrocarbons can be used as a source of hydrogen. This is correct. You can use water and hydrocarbon to get hydrogen. What about number 2? In a fuel cell, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to generate electricity. This is also true. Electricity is produced when hydrogen reacts with oxygen in a fuel cell. Number 3, the reaction taking place in a fuel cell is a redox reaction. This is also correct. It's a redox reaction. So all these 3 statements are correct. So D must be the right answer in this case. Number 17, ethanol is produced by the fermentation of glucose from sugarcane. In some countries, ethanol is used as a fuel. Which statements are correct? B. Number 1, sugarcane is a non-renewable. This is incorrect. Non-renewable finite resource. This is incorrect. The reason is that sugarcane is a renewable. It's a renewable source. So obviously, A and C is incorrect. Either B is correct or D is correct. 2, when sugarcane is growing, it removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This is correct. The reason is that it's a plant. It takes up carbon dioxide from the air. So 2 is the right answer for number 17. So B must be the right answer. Number 18, which changes will speed up a chemical reaction? 1, decreasing the pressure in reaction between gases. Now, if you decrease the pressure, what will happen? The particles will move away from each other and the rate will decrease because the distance between the particle increase. So if the distance increase, the collision between the particle, it will take more time to collide with each other. So this is incorrect. Number 2, increasing the size of the solid particles in a reaction involving solid. This is also incorrect because small size particles have large surface area. They will react at a faster rate as compared to large size particles. Number 3, increasing the temperature of any reaction. This is correct because if you increase the reaction, particles have more kinetic energy, so they will collide at a faster rate. Number 4, increasing the concentration of a solution. This is also correct. If you increase the concentration, you have more reacting particles. So 3 and 4 is the correct statement. So choice C must be the right answer in this case. Question number 19. Magnesium reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. Here's the reaction equation. MgS plus H2SO4 AQ gives MgSO4 AQ plus H2 gas. 2 experiments are carried out at 25 degrees centigrade. Experiment 1, 24 grams of powdered magnesium is reacted with 100 centimeter cube of 1 mole per dm cube sulfuric acid. Experiment 2, 24 grams of powdered magnesium is reacted with 50 centimeter cube of 2 mole per dm cube sulfuric acid. During each experiment, the volume of hydrogen produced is measured. The results are plotted on a graph. Which graph is correct? Now, if you look at the information provided in this question, magnesium, in both the experiment, magnesium is provided in the form of powder, and the mass used is also same. So definitely it has no effect on the results obtained. What about the sulfuric acid? Now there's a change in concentration of sulfuric acid. In fact, there's a change in the number of reacting moles of sulfuric acid. Now we have high volume of sulfuric acid in experiment 1, but the concentration is 1 mole per dm cube. What about experiment 2? In experiment 2, the volume is reduced, that is 50 centimeter cube, but the concentration of sulfuric acid is higher, which is 2 mole per dm cube. So it means that we have higher number of moles of sulfuric acid. And this indicates that experiment 2 must be the one which have the greater rate of formation of hydrogen as compared to experiment 1. So key is provided. Here's the key. Experiment 1, dash line, experiment 2, dotted line. We have choices A, B, C, and D. Straight away, C and D is incorrect. C and D is incorrect. Why? Because if you look at the number of reacting moles for both of these, for example, in case of experiment 1, if I write the number of moles, so 1000 centimeter cube contains 1 mole. Therefore, 100 centimeter cube contains X moles. Calculate the number of moles here. So 100 divided by 1000, which means we have 0.1 mole. 0.1 moles here. What about experiment 2? Again, you write 1000 centimeter cube, but this time you have 2 moles. What about the volume? Volume is 50 centimeter cube, and we have X moles. So 2 multiplied by 50 gives 100. And again, 100 will be divided by this 1000. So you'll get the same moles for experiment 2, which means the volume produced in both these experiments are same. So either A is correct or B is correct. That's why I've just told you that C and D is impossible. Both of these are incorrect. Now, the rate of reaction for experiment 1 will be lower than the rate of reaction of experiment 2. The reason is that you have higher concentration. You have highly concentrated sulfuric acid. You have lots of moles of sulfuric acid molecules. So A must be the right answer in this case. Moving to next question. In which equations is the change in the underlined species correct? In 1, C is underlined for CH4, and CO2. In CO2, C is underlined. So is it undergoing oxidation? There's addition of oxygen on the right hand side. So it's correct. Gain of oxygen, which means this is correct. You can easily eliminate the wrong choices. So B and D is incorrect. Either A is correct or C is correct. So let's see. No need to check the choice number 2. For your convenience, I will check it. If you see sulfur is underlined on the reactant side, on the product side, there is S. From H2S to S, there is a loss of hydrogen. And loss of hydrogen is oxidation, which means this is incorrect. It's not reduction. This is incorrect. What about number 3? So Br minus gives Br2. What is the charge or oxidation number on Br2? It must be 0. So it's moving from -1 to 0, which means increase in oxidation number or state, which is oxidation, not reduction. So this is also incorrect. So A must be the right answer in this case. Question number 21. The Haber process converts nitrogen and hydrogen into ammonia. Here's the equation: N2G plus 3H2G, reversible sign, 2NH3G. Which row is correct? Now we have change in condition and position of equilibrium. If you change the condition, like if you increase the pressure, what will happen? Increasing pressure will shift the equilibrium to the side with less number of moves. It must be moving on the right hand side. So they are saying move to left hand side. So this is incorrect. If you reduce the pressure, what will happen? It will move to the side with higher number of moves. So they are saying no change. So this is also incorrect. What C, catalyst present. Catalyst increases the rate of reaction in both the direction, which means there will be no change. Overall, there won't be any change in the position of equilibrium. So this is also incorrect. Only D will be left. This is correct. Catalyst present, and there will be no change in the position of equilibrium. 22. Which row shows the pH values of 0.1 mole per dm cube solutions of ammonia, hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide? Ammonia is weak alkali. Hydrochloric acid, strong acid. So for hydrochloric acid, pH must be closer to 0. And for weak alkali like ammonia, it should be closer to neutral, which is 7. What about sodium chloride? Sodium chloride is neutral. It's a salt, it's neutral. So pH must be 7. Sodium hydroxide is strong alkali. Strong alkali. So pH must be closer to 14. This will help us in answering the question or picking up the right choice. In A, they are saying 1 for NH3. This is incorrect. Straight away, no need to see the pH value for the other reagents. What about B? They are saying neutral, NH3 neutral. This is also incorrect. C indicates that it's a weak alkali. C looks correct to me. For your convenience, I'm checking the last one, which is 13. 13 means strong alkali. This is incorrect. So C must be the right answer. Let's see the pH values for other. HCl, 1. It's a strong acid, must be closer to 0. So this is correct. What about sodium chloride, NaCl? It's 7, which means a neutral. It's correct. What about NaOH? NaOH, strong alkali, must be closer to 14. So all these pH values are correct for the reagents. Number 23, the water in a lake is acidic and the fish are dying. The water in the lake needs to be neutralized. Which compound can be added in excess to neutralize the water in the lake? So we must need a reagent which neutralize the effect of acid or cancel out the effect of acid. So we have calcium carbonate, phosphoric acid, potassium hydroxide, sodium nitrate. Both phosphoric acid and sodium nitrate are incorrect because phosphoric acid is an acid. It will increase the pH. It will decrease the pH. It won't neutralize the water. What about sodium nitrate? Sodium nitrate is a salt, so it won't have any effect on the acidic nature of the lake. We are left with calcium carbonate and potassium hydroxide. So now you are adding in excess. So if you are adding in excess, which means that you must be getting the higher amount of the reagent you are adding in order to cancel out the effect of acid. So if you add this potassium hydroxide, it's a strong alkali, So a strong alkali means it will increase the pH. So this won't be the right choice. A looks correct to me because calcium carbonate, it will react. It will only react with the acid. Calcium carbonate, it's an insoluble one, insoluble salt. So it will only react with the acid. So the acid will react only to get neutralized. Calcium carbonate will not dissolve. It will only react with acid to neutralize it. So in the end, we'll be left with excess of calcium carbonate, which does not have any effect on the acidic nature. I mean, it will not increase the acidic nature of the lake. 24. Two incomplete statements about the preparation of an insoluble salt are given. One can be used to prepare insoluble salts, such as 2. The salt is collected by 3 and is then 4. Which words correctly complete gaps 1 to 4? So first of all, the method which is used for the preparation of the insoluble salt is precipitation, straight away. So no need to pick up this one. Either A is correct, B is correct, C is correct. Now, for the precipitation method, you have to start with the 2 soluble salts. Start with the soluble salts, not with the insoluble one. So in number 2, they have written some name of the salt. We have barium nitrate, it's soluble. Lead sulfate, it's insoluble. So both B and C is incorrect straight away. Sorry, they are saying that we need to prepare insoluble salt, such as you have to pick up the salt which is insoluble. So A is incorrect. Either B is correct or C is correct, because lead sulfate is insoluble one. Now, what about the salt is collected by number 3? It must be collected by filtration, because the salt produced is insoluble one. So choice C must be the right answer in this case. In the 4th point, they are saying washed and dried. So choice C is the right answer here. 25. The Haber process is used to make ammonia at a temperature of 400 degrees centigrade and a pressure of 20,000 kPa. Temperature is changed to 500 degrees centigrade, but the pressure is kept the same. Now they have increased the pressure. Remember, the Haber process, it's an exothermic process, which means it will favor low temperature. The forward direction is exothermic. So what they are saying, what they are asking, what will be the effects of this change on the production of ammonia? They are asking about the production of ammonia. Definitely, it will, the temperature, it will only increase the rate. It won't increase the amount of ammonia produced. It will shift the equilibrium to the left-hand side, not to the right-hand side. So we have increased rate. So either A is correct or B is correct, C and D is incorrect. Now, what about statement A? It is made at an increased rate. This is correct. And the position of the equilibrium moves to the left. This is correct. Because on the left-hand side, you have endothermic. Endothermic favors high temperature, as they have raised the temperature from 400 to 500 degree centigrade. So choice A must be the right answer in this case. 26. Some properties which indicate the differences in elements are listed. 1. Metallic character. 2. Number of electron shells in an atom. 3. Number of protons in an atom. 4. Total number of electrons in an atom. Which 2 properties increase across a period of the periodic table? So if you move from left to right hand side, does the metallic character increases? This is a periodic table. Moving from left to right hand side, we have metals on the right hand side and we have non-metals on the right hand side. So metallic property does not increase. So this is wrong. Number two, number of electron shells in an atom. So moving from left to right within the same period. What they are saying across a period means you have same period. So it will definitely will not increase the number of electron shells. So this is also incorrect. What about 3? Number of protons. Yes, this will increase within the period. You see, hydrogen 1, helium 2, lithium 3, beryllium 4, boron 5, carbon 6, nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, fluorine 9, neon 10. So it means it's increasing. So this is correct. Number 4, total number of electrons in an atom. Definitely it will also increase. So D must be the right answer for this question. 27. Elements X and Y combine to form an ionic compound. So ionic compound is formed between metal and non-metal. So one of these must be metal and other non-metal. Statement number 2, atoms of X and have more protons than atoms of Y. Atoms of Y have more valence electrons than atoms of X. Which statement is correct? Now they are asking which of these statement is correct. We don't know which one is a metal or non-metal. But if X have more protons than atoms of Y, does it give you any idea? What about next statement? Atoms of Y have more valence electron than atoms of X. Yes, this statement tells that Y must be a non-metal. Y non-metal and X is a metal. Ions of X are negatively charged. Ions of X are negatively charged. So is this statement correct? X is a metal, so it will form positively charged ions. So this is incorrect. B, atoms of X have more electron shells than atoms of Y. So is this statement correct? This can be correct. This can be correct. 27. This looks correct to me. Number C, X and Y are in the same period of the periodic table. So are these in the same period of the periodic table? Now, if they are saying X have more protons than atoms of Y, and also atoms of Y have more valence electrons than atoms of X, so this statement must be wrong. Both of them can't be in the same period. D, X and Y are in the same group of the periodic table. This is also incorrect. Metal and non-metal, they belong to different groups. So B must be the right answer for this question. 28. The elements in group 1 of the periodic table show trends in both their reactivities and their melting points. Rubidium is in group 1. Which statement about rubidium is correct? What about the reactivity and melting point trend? Here's group 1. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So the trend in this group is reactivity increases. Down the group. And then melting point. What about melting point? Melting point decreases. Melting point decreases down the group. A, it has a higher melting point than potassium. No, this is wrong. It must be having lower melting point than potassium because potassium is above rubidium. For your convenience, I am writing the symbols of these elements so you can easily decide. Now, here we have lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. B, it reacts with water to produce an acidic solution. This is wrong because it will produce alkaline solution, not acidic solution. C, it reacts with water to produce oxygen gas. This is also incorrect. It does not produce oxygen gas. It will produce hydrogen gas. D, it is more reactive than potassium. This is correct because reactivity increases down the group. 29. The properties of four substances are shown. Which substance is a metal? A, it conducts electricity when dissolved in water, but not when solid. This is wrong because metal conducts electricity in the solid state also. B, it has a high melting point and conducts heat when solid. This is correct. For your convenience, I am checking the other statements. C, it has a low melting point and is brittle. This is incorrect. D, it has a giant covalent structure with high melting point. It's not giant covalent structure. It has giant metallic structure. It's also incorrect. B must be the right answer for 29. 30. Group 1 elements and transition elements are metals. Student X suggests that the group 1 elements are above hydrogen in the metal reactivity series, but that not all transition elements are. Student Y suggests that the densities of group 1 elements are lower than those of the transition elements. Which students are correct? Both of these statements are correct. So A must be the right answer for number 30. 31. Tin is more reactive than lead, but less reactive than iron. Which method would be most suitable for extracting tin from its ore? So tin is more reactive than lead, but less reactive than iron. Let's place a tin here. So we have the reactivity series. So where we will place this tin? They are saying it's more reactive than lead. So it must be above lead, less reactive. So it must be having this position. Symbol for tin is SN. Okay. Now they are saying suitable for extracting tin from its ore. So electrolytic method, these are used for highly reactive metals. B, heating alone? No. It will it's used for least reactive. This is not among tin is not among least reactive. This is also incorrect. See, heating with carbon. This looks correct to me because iron is obtained from its ore by heating with carbon monoxide. So this looks correct to me. What about D? No, reacting with hydrogen. Hydrogen is less reactive than tin. So this can't be the right answer. C must be the right answer for number 31 in this case. Number 32. Attaching pieces of magnesium to underground iron pipes can protect the iron from corrosion. Which reaction protects the iron from corrosion? Now, which reaction? They are saying which reaction. So reaction must be showing the oxidation of magnesium, Mg, not iron, Fe. So the only equation which I can see which shows this is D here. All the other choices are incorrect. 33. Which reactions take place during the extraction of aluminium from aluminium oxide using carbon electrodes? Number 1, 2O2 minus gives O2 plus 4 electrons. Is correct. C. Number 2, C plus O2 gives CO2. This is also correct because the temperature is high. So oxygen produced oxidizes the anode. So this is also correct. What about 3? Al2 plus 2 electron gives Al. This is wrong because Aluminium is in group 3. Here we have aluminium. It must be carrying Al plus 3, not Al plus 2. So this is incorrect. So 1 and 2 is correct. B must be the right answer for this question. 34. Which statement about gases in the atmosphere is correct? A. Carbon monoxide is pollutant which causes acid rain. This is wrong. Carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas. It does not cause acid rain. B. Catalytic converters reduce carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide. This is oxidation, not reduction. So this is also incorrect. C. Methane in the atmosphere depletes ozone layer. No. Methane is greenhouse gas, responsible for greenhouse effect. It's also incorrect. D must be the right answer. Photosynthesis adds oxygen to the atmosphere. 35. How many moles of hydrogen chloride are formed when 1 mole of methane reacts with a large excess of chlorine in sunlight? So here's the reaction of methane with chlorine. Remember, this reaction is a chain reaction. It will continue until all of the hydrogen of methane will get substituted by chlorine. And in each stage, HCl is produced as one of the products. So in the first step, we will get CH3Cl plus HCl. Second step, CH3Cl will react with another molecule of Cl, producing CH2Cl2. Again, we will get HCl. In the third, we are getting CH2Cl2 reacting with Cl2 again, producing CH3Cl plus HCl. Last, we have CH3Cl reacting with Cl2. This time gives CCl4 plus HCl. So we have 4 steps. So it means we are getting 4 moles of HCl. So D must be the right answer in this case. 36. Compound X is shown in the dot and cross diagram. Which statement about compound X is correct? What is this compound? This is a double bond between 2 carbon atoms. We have 1, 2, 3. It must be propene. It's propene. And it's unsaturated because containing carbon-carbon double bond. Why? Because we can see 4 electrons are shared between these 2 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, it is a saturated hydrocarbon. This is incorrect. As I have already mentioned, it's unsaturated. B, it's an isomer of butene. This is also incorrect. Butene contains 4 carbon atoms. Here we have 3 carbon atoms. C, it will decolorize bromine water. This is correct because contain carbon-carbon double bond, which means unsaturated. It will definitely decolorize bromine water. C must be the right answer. For your convenience, I am reading the last statement. Its name is propane. This is incorrect. Name is propene. I have already mentioned on top. Moving to next question. 37. Which statements about alcohols are correct? 1. All alcohols contain the hydroxide ion OH minus. This is incorrect. They contain hydroxyl group, not hydroxyl ion. 2. Ethanol can be formed from ethene using a reaction catalyzed by yeast. Now, this reaction is not catalyzed by yeast. It's catalyzed by phosphoric acid, or even acid is the right one. So this statement is also incorrect. 3. Methanol can be oxidized to methanoic acid. This is correct. It can be oxidized to methanoic acid. 4. The alcohols X and Y shown are isomers. Now let's check the X and Y. X, we have OH group, and Y also containing OH group. In X, it's on the 2nd carbon. In Y, it's on the 1st carbon. What about the molecular formula? If you look at the molecular formula, it must be same in order to show that these are the isomers of each other. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbon. What about hydrogen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hydrogen. Oxygen 1. What about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon. Hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again 10, H10O. So these are isomers. So both 3 and 4 is the right statement. So D must be the right answer for number 37. 38. An ester has a formula C2H5 COO C2H5. Which pair of compounds would react together to form this ester? So let's split this ester. So this part must be coming. It's an alkyl group from alcohol. So we have 2 carbon atom. So it must be ethanol. So one of the reactant must be ethanol. What about next one? We have C2H5 COO. It's coming from carboxylic acid. And we have 3 carbon atoms. So it must be propanoic acid. So we have propanoic acid and ethanol. So B must be the right answer for number 38. 39. Which statement about polymers is correct? Which of these statement is correct? Nylon and terylene are both polyester. This is wrong because nylon is polyamide. B. Proteins and nylon have the same monomer units. This is also incorrect. Both have different monomer units. In protein, we have amino acids, but in nylon we are having dicarboxyl group and diamine group. This is one of the possibilities. C. Proteins have the same amide linkages as nylon. This looks correct to me because both of these have same linkage, that is amide linkage. D. Terylene fats are esters but with different linkages. This is wrong because both of these have same linkage, not different linkage. So C must be the right answer in this case. Moving to last question. X is a polymer. When X is hydrolyzed, one of the products is substance Y. Here is Y. So Y is containing carboxyl group as well as amine group. So it must be amino acid. Which type of polymer is X? Now they are talking about the X. So it must be protein. Amino acids polymerizes to give protein through condensation polymerization. C must be the right answer in this case. Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.